Weekdays desperately need to get broken up. That like Monday to Thursday, or even like sometimes Sunday to Thursday, monotony of life will just blend into like nothingness. And we don't want nothingness in our life. We want big, bold, wonderful, vibrant lives. Okay, so tomorrow, actually wait, no, not tomorrow, thank God. It's only Monday today. On Wednesday, I have a big speaking gig, big for me. It's 250 ladies. It is the Forward Together conference put on by a whole bunch of big companies like TELUS, Salesforce, I think Canadian Tire, there's a bunch of them. Anyway, I'm still under the weather, which is why I'm a little bit nasally, okay? Today I did shit all, like absolutely almost nothing. Like I cleaned the fridge, got groceries. I had a nap. I don't nap on a Monday, but I'm just like, I'm sick. My body is still healing from being sawed in half vis-a-vis my tummy tuck 9 weeks ago. And I've been working out. So actually I worked out this morning as well. And like with a trainer. So it was a serious workout. So I just feel like I maybe push myself, especially after a weekend of kind of partying. Yeah, we partied by accident. Like Saturday night, Chad and I went out for like a glorious date night. Got a little saucy. And then also on the weekend, we had the garage sale. So it was garage sale, Mother's Day, date nights. Anyway, it's all a blur now. Though I do have to get ready. I've printed my speech. I've done this speech before. It's all about engineering enthusiasm and how to manufacture more movie moments of meaning, magic, and joy in your everyday life. Basically, how to choose adventure and actually action it, make sure it happens on the regular. And in it is my formula for fun, which I am obsessed with. I think it's so fucking clever. But it's really true. It's just about how you actually create fun in your life. So I will probably put a snippet of the speech and the formula for fun inside of here. In addition, I have a Choose Adventure guide that has all of my ideas, tried, tested, and true ways to actually have more fun and do shit in your life. How to choose adventure, hence the Choose Adventure guide. I'm gonna link that below, so if you want it, you can get it. I'm also going to give it out to the people that are attending the speech. So I had to make sure that all of the, like, you know, when you like sign up to download it, that it actually, like the emails go out and they go to you. I did that in Active Campaign. So I got that organized today. And now I'm going to get all of my equipments, my filming equipments ready, because I would like to film this speech and then be able to give it to my speaking agency that I've been with for a couple of years, but give that to them so that they promote this speech so that I can do it for more audiences, hopefully, even though it brings me anxiety every time I have to get to do one of these speeches, but it's good. The more that I do it, the better. Much less work now since it's already written and the slides are done, and I just have to practice it a bit because I haven't done it in a year. Actually, no, I did it. I've done this speech. This will be my third time doing this one. Anyway, I used to give keynotes that were more just about the business. I started the TED Spot because I had been fired for the second time. The first time was actually from an unpaid internship. So imagine, okay? Being a 24-year-old girl and having an idea and 3 days later signing a lease and then building out the thing and then having it grow into an international franchise chain of beauty bars. But this one is not about that. So anyway, I'm gonna get organized, get my stuff together. Okay, it's speech day. I'm up. I woke up like pretty naturally due to fear and nerves, I'd say. Well, I go on at 9:30, but I want to be there by 7:30, 8, just so that I can do all the AV stuff. I have slides, beautiful slides, if I dare say so myself. I'm still sick, which sucks a nut. Anyway, I gotta have a shower and do my hair and my makeup and run through my speech and slides one more time. Okay, here we go. Final. Okay, this is not. There we go. our first keynote speaker of the day. Please warmly welcome Kristen to the stage. All right, so by the time I was in my mid-30s, I had ticked all of the boxes. I had the house and the husband and the adorable baby, and my business was on hyperdrive. These are actually, I was on 2 magazine covers despite this not actually looking like me. And my award logo collection. And I tell you this not to brag, but to showcase that on paper, I had it all. And yet my personal life was a dumpster fire. I was absolutely miserable in my life. I had jumped into my marriage face first. We got engaged on the first date. He moved in 2 weeks later. We were married by 4 months, and then I was knocked up by 6 months. And although it was a whirlwind romance at the start, we were not a match. There was no connection, no communication, no intimacy, and we fought all the time. Big, explosive, awful, everyday fights. And the worst part about it is that my son saw most of it. In fact, almost all of it. And we were miserable, and that misery seeped into absolutely everything. I let myself go in every single way possible. That fueled my anxiousness and powerlessness and just feeling like I wasn't in control of my life. So I buried myself in my work, and I would work on the evenings and on the weekends, and the result was that I missed so much of my son's little life just to escape mine. And by the time I hit about 35, I was like, this is not happening. I cannot waste my one short, precious little chance at existing on planet Earth being so miserable and feeling like the bright, sparkly little firecracker that it used to be was just like the dimmer switch was turned all the way down. And so it was around this time that I had this realization that I actually had to own my life in the same way that I had owned my business, and that I had to become the CEO of my life and take control of the only thing that I could control, which was myself, my thoughts and my feelings and my behaviors and my actions. And so I ended up making the hardest decision of my executive career, and that was to blow everything up. And I realized very quickly that blowing up your life is a different kind of hard than just living in a horrible marriage. And so I lost my house, and I lost most of my money, and I almost lost my business. However, in life, if you are not winning, you are learning. And so I learned that success in life really comes down to the same things that success in business come down to, and that is strategy and execution. So having a strategy that you craft with this profound plan for what you want, why you want it, and how to get it, and then executing it with practical action. So I call this CEOing the shenanigans out of life. Crafting a strategic plan with a vision for what you want, your purpose as the starting point, your core values, your commitments, your routines, your goals, and your missions. And then getting the mindset, habits, and hacks to be able to execute that with the perspective and accountability that life requires you to do. And it worked, of course, because if strategic action plans work for large companies and aligning everybody to what they want and then actually being able to execute on that plan and get where they want to go, it's certainly going to work for one little life. And so by implementing what I was doing at work, I was able to actually not only get through that hard patch in life, but take myself from living life at like, I don't know, a -1 to an actual life at a 10. I don't think that there's anybody on planet Earth, let alone anybody in this room, that doesn't actually want to be living life at a 10. I know that we all want to milk the little teets of life and experience everything that this awesome life has to offer. But how we make that happen is the real key question. And luckily for you guys, I've been obsessed with this my entire existence. And so I've figured it all out for you. So we're gonna begin with breaking down life. So life comes down to 3 main things. It's number 1, who you choose to be. So your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your behavior.
Number 2, it's who you choose to share it with. So your relationships and your community, your friends, your family, your neighborhood, your pickleball partners. And then it's what you choose to actually do with your time here on planet Earth. So what you actually spend your minutes and hours and days and weeks and months and years doing, because actually that's all you have is this moment and this moment and this moment and this moment. And so to take life and make it into life at a 10, we want to take these 3 components and completely optimize them to be the most beneficial to you. Because you only have you. It's like Ready Player One. We spawn into this existence. We have no idea where we came from or where we're going, but we are like dropped into this thing, and it's all about you in the end, and other people, which I'll get to. So number 1, who you choose to be. It is choosing to be somebody that lives on brand and in sync with whatever lights you the F up. And that means living a life that is filled and fueled with purpose. Number 2, who you choose to share it with. It is choosing to be somebody who gives away what they want to get and create meaningful, connected relationships with those people that matter most. And then number 3 is what you actually do with your time here. And it is about choosing adventure and choosing things that will fuel your growth, and that will get you to living a life filled with fun and fulfillment. And so living life at a 10 is not about always having a life at a 10. That's impossible. And in fact, you don't actually want that. But it is about continuously striving to level up your life and strive for that life at a 10, the kind of like life that you're just obsessed with, where you go to bed at night being so grateful that you get to live this life and then waking up super excited. So in order to CO the shat out of life and then get to your life at a 10, which is a life filled with purpose, connection, fun, and fulfillment, we need energy. And just like all precious resources in a company, we want to manage and optimize our energy, but we also want to create and keep ourselves full of energy. And lucky for us, energy is a renewable resource. But it only comes from within, because there is no way to truly charge a battery by letting it drain more, which is why doom scrolling and binge watching Netflix doesn't work, and even vacations or yoga retreats or baths don't actually work. And like, don't get me wrong, I love a bubble bath, okay? Get me like Netflix and a snack platter in the tubby and some candlelight. I'm obsessed with it, but that is a reward and it is not a recharge. And so the way to charge a battery is you have to plug it into something. And the thing that you want to plug it into is purpose, creativity, connection, gratitude, and fun. So these are all energy and enthusiasm for life creators. And because I only get, I thought it was an hour, but I think it's actually 45 minutes, with you guys, I'm just gonna take the teeniest, tiniest little bit of this, and we're gonna talk about plugging into fun. Now I know that fun sounds like a dumb thing to spend 45 minutes to an hour on, but I think that fun is absolutely an essential element of living a full and vibrant FES life that you are in love with. And so the first thing of why we need fun is that it makes life desirable as well as enjoyable. Because if life is just hardship and toil, that is certainly not a fulfilling and fun life. And it's certainly not living life at a 10. The second thing is that fun has the power to ground you into the present, I think better than anything else on the planet. When you are actually having fun, you are sucked into the moment, and you're not thinking about your to-do list or the things that you haven't gotten done, or the argument that you had in the morning. The third thing about fun, the third fun fact I like to say, is that fun is where you feel the most energized, and you need these jolts of enthusiasm in order to keep your life up and going, and your zest for life up. And lastly, and most importantly for the rest of this presentation, fun is where the movie moments of your life are made. so that when you're like in the last moments of your existence and your life flashes before your eyes, we want to make sure that you are treated to the most awesome movie montage reel of incredible experiences that you got to have on planet Earth. So our mission is to manufacture as many movie moments of meaning, magic, and joy as you possibly can. So how do we do this? I created an algebraic equation for you. And I call it the formula for fun. Truth be told, I had to relearn algebra this year with my grade 9er. And so the formula for fun is this. It is choosing adventure, which is simply choosing something over nothing, adding in the conditions for chaos, adding in a little bit of risk and discomfort. Then we're going to add in other people, and we're going to times it all by participating to the power of an always worth it attitude. Like algebra, I know this seems really overwhelming at first glance, but we are going to break this equation down one by one. So first off, choosing adventure, it's in this like little bracketed area because choosing adventure is actually all three of these things. So the first part that you need to know is that choosing adventure does not mean that you need to base jump off of a mountain in a squirrel suit. Bowling on a Tuesday night can be choosing adventure. Hikes, bikes, picnics, going and shooting a bucket of balls can be choosing adventure. Eating dinner outdoors as a picnic can be choosing adventure. It doesn't really matter what the adventure is, big or small. It is always going to be better than sitting at home doing nothing or next to nothing. So as an example, this one night I took the boys and we decided to go for a midnight bike ride. They were like 6 years old. It wasn't actually at midnight, it was 7 p.m., but because it was in the winter, it felt like it was midnight. And we were riding along and we came up across those like, you know those like boob-shaped buildings that you can sometimes see from like the highway? Or have you ever seen them in movies? You know what I'm talking about. And so we decided to sneak in to this place, aka like we just like stepped over the chain link fence that was guarding these buildings. And what we found was magical. It turns out that this is where the city of Toronto keeps their ice, their rock salt for the wintertime. And it was so amazing. So you have these like big neon lights, these giant hills of this rock salt. You would like yell and the echo was amazing. And of course it had this like ethereal, neat sort of visceral feeling because like we weren't supposed to be there. We were sneaking in and it was like such a cool discovery and the place was so big. I got to take this amazing photo. The kids were like jumping up on the salt. And instead of that school night being a nothing night, it ended up being one of these amazing experiences that we all remember having happened. So the second part of the choose adventure bracketed part of the formula is you need to add in some conditions for chaos, which is so super easy to do. You just leave your house. Adventure is out there literally, and yes, of course you can have fun at home, but that is not where most of the magic lives. And that's because the magic of fun, the part that feels like, oh, we just stumbled upon this, is because of the unexpected delight of your experience. And in order to have unexpected delights, you need to have elements of chaos. And leaving the house will give you more of these variables, so of things that you can't control. So there's more people, more places, more options, more activities, more novelty, and that chaos brings in the weird twist and turns an unexpected delight of an experience. So this is another example. This is like one of the greatest, weirdest, most magical nights of my life. Chad, my future fiance, I'm in between husbands right now. We ended up going out for dinner, and instead of just going straight home, we decided to stop into this like Irish pub and have a nightcap. They had darts, and we ended up meeting the most hilarious foreign strangers. 1 pint turned into 2 pints, and then maybe 3 pints, and then maybe some shots, and then maybe there was like some dancing, and shenanigans took place. And what could have been this like very easily forgettable evening turned into one of my most memorable movie montage moments for my passing away reel, of just like it was one of the best nights ever. As a quick, I just like to mention this part because I think people don't take advantage of this enough, but like sitting at the bar is the very best place to sit in a restaurant. Even if you don't drink, even if you are with your kids, get corner bar, perfect. But even if you can't, like sidebar it up. And that's because it does exactly this. It creates more conditions for chaos. You are talking to the bartender, you're talking to the people beside you, you're overhearing conversations. There's so much more opportunity to have so much fun. I can't even tell you how many times we've had awesome conversations with randos at the bar. One night ended up at this guy's house, like eating pretzel dip, like he brought over like pretzels and like dipped it in chocolate, and we saw it was like McDonald's memorabilia. It was a weird night, but also so much fun and randomness. And it also has the added benefit, if you take your kids, of actually teaching your kids how to have conversations and strike up conversations, especially if it's in your local neighborhood. It's so good for them to like create community and know your people and like be able to say hi to people and have those conversations with humans. So this is actually the only, I don't really take photos of us like sitting out for dinner, but this happened to be our core value of the year award dinner for the family. And so we sat at the bar for it, but it's really just because I couldn't find another photo of us sitting at a bar. So the last element of choosing adventure is adding in some risk and discomfort. So choosing adventure comes with discomfort. It's the discomfort of meeting new people. It's the discomfort of being somewhere because of course the couch is way more comfortable than actually having to get out of the home. It's the discomfort of braving different temperatures. So you may be sweaty, you may be freezing, you may be wet. Oftentimes I'm wet outside. I don't know, it just happens to me. The discomfort of trying something new, the discomfort of doing something and then being bad at it and making a fool of yourself, or the discomfort of shaking up a set schedule. And I'm looking at you moms that are really tied to nap time. And I get it, because that can be very uncomfortable. And it also comes with more risk. So it's more risky to try something new. It's more risky to do something that might make you feel foolish or that you can fail at in front of other people. It's more risky to be someplace that you've never been before or walking into a situation where you don't know anybody. It's more risky to do something actually risky where you might hurt yourself, from like motorcycling to just riding a bike if you haven't been on one in a while. But it is because of those additions of a little bit or a lot of bit of risk and discomfort that will make your experiences so much more memorable and have them stand out, and gives those moments so much more potential for fun to happen. So the example that I'd like to give is going to watch a sporting game at a packed bar. It is filled with elements of discomfort and risk. There's like noise and chaos, and like maybe you won't get a seat, and like parking's a nightmare, or like getting an Uber afterwards is like a disaster. Maybe you just have to stand there like a moron with your like jacket in your hand and like you're being crowded by other people. And so there's elements of both risk and discomfort. But it is also so much more electric. Even if you hate watching sports, which by the way I do, like I don't even know if it's Euro Cup or World Cup coming up, but I know that I'm gonna be at a bar, because you can't hate on an experience where people have come together and they're all cheering and there's like the fun noise and the chaos of things. Another example is that we will, if we have people over for dinner, we always make them do an activity with us. So usually it's a bike ride, and it's always rain or shine, and usually it rains, because again, I have great luck with outdoor activities in the rain. And is it uncomfortable? Yes. It's super weird to say to somebody, especially if it's their first time coming over to your house, being like, hey, I also need you to pack a change of clothes, because we are going for an activity and you might get wet or sweaty or dirty, because it's usually off-road mountain biking on a trail. But it is also 1,000 times more fun to force your friends and family members to choose adventure with you and to experience some fun. And it just adds to everybody else's memory bank. So instead of just going over to somebody's house for dinner where like, yes, you may remember it because that was lovely and nice, especially if it was the first time, but to actually have an adventure tacked on before is so much more memorable and fun. So the next part of our formula for fun is adding in other people. You kind of can't get to ridiculously good, to ridiculous levels of good times just by yourself. And that's because of two things. Number one, there just isn't enough chaos to make that happen. So introducing the element of other people and other personalities and some of the shenanigans that you have to deal with human beings brings in more potential randomness to make magical moments happen. No one has ever really gone to a brunch by themselves and had it turn into a bottomless mimosa dance party. And the second thing is that connection to others is what makes life more meaningful, and having fun with those human beings that matter most to you will be the things that make your movie montage highlight reel. So the last part of our formula for fun is participation to the power of an always worth it attitude. I feel like that is so clever, the power of thing. And so being a yes person that participates makes life more fun. It is more fun for you, and maybe more importantly, it is more fun for the other people in your life. So to prove this point, I'm gonna do this in contrast. So being the mom that goes to a water park and just sits on the sidelines while her kids beg her to get into the water and go down the slides with her, she is not fun. Sorry, not sorry. She sucks. And if that's been you, don't worry, that's fine, because that was me too, but we are going to change that from now on. You may get a UTI, likely you will, but the connection that you create with those kiddos is going to be far more worth it. Now, the positive attitude part is absolutely key, because with the added risk and discomfort that is essential to our equation, some things are gonna massively suck. You're gonna get long lines and bad weather and rude people and forgotten mitts and hanger affecting everybody at the same time because you're all on the same schedule. And the list of potential pitfalls to kickstart a bad time are actually gonna be endless. And so that is why it is your job to be the beacon of the bright side. In order to make sure that the adventure continues and that it is gonna be good times, you need to take an always worth it attitude. And this will safeguard even you against falling into the trap of negativity. And so the reason why the power of an always worth it attitude works is because it always will be. You will always be positively rewarded for choosing adventure in the name of good times and fun in life. And that's really for three reasons. Number one, it's gonna be memory making. So even when you're stuck somewhere cold and wet and tired and in those less than ideal moments, that's actually part of the risk and discomfort section that we talked about, where it's going to mean that it is more memorable and more fun for you, and it will stand out more. Maybe not more fun like in certain points of it, but like in the end, you're gonna be like, that was really worth it. I can't tell you how many times I have been stuck on like an 8-hour bike ride somewhere and it's pouring rain. The other thing is that it builds confidence. So doing hard things is hard. And when you do them, it makes you hardcore. And being hardcore feels like winning, and winning feels amazing. Ask any 13-year-old boy, after they pop a wheelie for the first time, they feel like a badass. And so when you go out there and you actually do a hard thing, like do an activity when the chips are down and it doesn't feel as ideal as it possibly could, and when you have every single reason to bail on your plans, and you actually go and do it, you will be rewarded by feeling like you're totally dope and a hero in your own mind. As my ex-husband used to like to call me, I think he actually still does, is a hero in your own mind, Kristen. And I like being a hero in my own mind. And then lastly, if your adventure is a total disaster, it'll make a great story. And having dinner party stories is a win. So not everything in life is a choice, I understand that, but your attitude always will. And by picking, having a power of an always worth it attitude, you'll realize that it is always worth it in the end. So now that we know the formula for fun, which just to recap is choosing adventure, which means choosing something over nothing, adding in conditions for chaos, adding in risk and discomfort, adding in other people, participating to the power of an always worth it attitude, we have to action it. Because nothing profound in life happens without practical action. So if we want to choose adventure and we want to manufacture more meaning and fun in our life, we need to figure out the what, when, and how of our choose adventure activities and then make them happen. So first of all, the what, it doesn't really matter. Like pick anything. I actually have a Choose Adventure guide that I'm gonna put up a QR code link for you guys. Literally pick anything, it doesn't matter. Something that you've done before that you like, or better yet, something that you haven't done, because that brings in that effect of novelty and unexpected delight of things. I would even say you should pick things that you think you won't like, that other people do really like. And so that's one of the things that I always look for in life. If a bunch of the world is like totally nutty for this, like what am I missing out on? Because I found in life that this is usually how it works. So case in point, I found out that golf is not golf. I thought that golf was about hitting a ball into a hole, and then I was forced to play golf, and I found out it's amazing. Golf is actually being outside on a beautiful day. It is chit-chatting and having deep conversations. It's smack-talking the other players and making fun of people. It's day drinking if you want it to be. It is the joy of the snack cart coming around, which is like so amazing. And then it's actually like hitting a ball, and if you actually do it well, it can actually feel pretty good. And so the reason why golf is beloved by so many is because it's about all of these other things, and everything in life is that way. Another point, I thought skiing, because I was a late bloomer skier, I'm from Manitoba, so there's not really any ski hills. And so I found out later in life that skiing is not skiing. I thought it was about going down a hill, and it is not. It is about like chats on the chairlift, après Caesars, the like weirdo that plays guitar for the whole clubhouse, which is like usually always Chad. And everything in life is always more fun than you think it is. It's so vast and wide with weird random stuff that you can try, and then it also goes so deep into what you can actually experience and what all of those experiences actually end up being. You just have to choose it, and you just have to do it. Okay, so now that we have the what, because it doesn't matter, we need to talk about the when of actioning our adventures. I'm sorry to say, but our aim is to fit in 3 to 4 Choose Adventure activities a week. I know, sorry, okay? Shock and awe campaign. But before your brain tunes me out, let me explain, okay? The reason why we need, so this is incorporating weekend, which usually you can like cut off like 2, okay? So there you only have to worry about 2 during the weeknight. The reason why we need to do this is anybody can find some fun stuff to do on the weekend. Question on Monday is like, oh, what'd you do on the weekend? Oh, that's fun. It's not like, oh, what'd you do on Tuesday? Because everybody's like just boring and doing nothing. We need to change that because weekdays desperately need to get broken up. That like Monday to Thursday, or even like sometimes Sunday to Thursday, monotony of life will just blend into like nothingness. And we don't want nothingness in our life. We want big, bold, wonderful, vibrant lives. And so I understand that routines are important. I teach a lot, like I think they're paramount for getting, automatically done what you want to get done. But the thing about breaking this up is that everything has a cost in life. So yes, choosing adventure, especially on a weeknight, is going to cost you something. So some meals might have to be eaten on the go. They're going to be less than perfect macros. Bath time might have to be skipped, or your like everything shower might have to be skipped and done on another day. And bedtimes might not be strictly followed, or they might have to just actually start in the car. But the thing is that everything also has a payoff in life, and relatively speaking, most of those little inconvenient costs are going to be worth the payoff of creating those profound and meaningful moments with the people that you care about most. And remember, choosing adventure isn't something wild and nutty. You don't have to actually free climb, and it doesn't need to be overly time consuming, and it doesn't need to be expensive. So I used to take my little son when he was 6, I would take him out in the morning before school for like 10 minutes, and we would just play with those like sticky mitt things. And like we now have this amazing memory of us doing that together, and his little face like laughing so hard when he'd throw the ball too far for me to catch it. And actually like I couldn't really catch it. And so it can really be like 30 minutes of a skate on a public rink. It can be a couple of toboggan slides down a hill in your neighborhood. It can be $5 worth of balls at a batting cage. Again, I've got a list of you if you're looking at me like, what are you even talking about? It's really just the act of actually picking something and then doing it. So how we fit this in to our schedule is that you are going to plan it out and put it in your calendar. Literally just take 10 minutes, I recommend on a Sunday, and you're going to plot out what you're gonna do. And I recommend that you pair this with dinner because we've got to feed everybody as well as fit in the fun. And so there's really two options for you. If you are gonna do like a bigger choose adventure activity out, like you're like, ooh, concert at Budweiser, like, I don't know, like go tobogganing, because that can take more time because you gotta like bring everybody in the thing. Then you are gonna do dinner out or on the go. So like pack something or grab something cheap. Option number two is if you're gonna do more of the, you know, I'm gonna cook at home and do the family meal kind of thing, or if you have less time because of extracurricular activities and stuff like that, then you're gonna do a smaller at home or closer to home type of activities. So you could like play some cards, go out back and play catch, go for a little bike ride, go for a scooter ride, go for a walk around the neighborhood. So the last thing that I'm gonna mention is that whatever you plan to do, I want you to stick to your plans. Because I know firsthand from many, many, many moments in my life, it is very tempting to choose comfort and just bail on your plans, because the discomfort of actually doing this will then become the deciding factor. So you've had a long day, the house is a mess, you still have to clean the kitchen, you still have to do laundry, the kids are, you know, you've like done squabbling, it's too hot, it's too cold, like all of these excuses will come up, which is why you're not gonna think. You're not even gonna let your brain start with the chatter of excuses, because you'll default to the thing, because those are valid excuses and they are things. But the problem is, again, those are the costs and we want the payoff of those profound, meaningful moments. So you're just gonna be like, it's in the calendar, we're going, suck it up, buttercup. This is me talking to my teens because they always like fight me now. And so the reason why we wanna stick to our plans is, number one, it's flaky. Especially if you've invited other people for your choose adventure thing, you don't want to be that person. You want to be the person that says that they're going to do something and actually do it. I actually believe that self-confidence comes from self-integrity, and that means you say you're going to do something and you're actually going to do it. The other thing is that when you let yourself off the hook for things, then you let yourself off the hook for more and more things. And so you're going to make a plan and you're just going to stick to it, and you know that it's always going to be worth it, and that you are doing this for a more profound reason. This is, again, you're doing practical actions for a profound reason. And I'm actually willing to bet that some of your most memorable movie moments that you've even had in your life are from those we almost bailed on this plan type of a situation. I know. So this is my last example, but to showcase what I'm talking about. So we had planned this ski trip with my brothers a little bit, and then we found out a couple days before we were going that the weather was gonna be absolute garbage, that like most of the ski hill had melted, and that it was gonna be rainy and crap. And we decided to go anyway. We stuck with our plans, and as expected, it was awful. It was terrible skiing, it was cold, we were on the chairlift, it was like sleeting rain, like up and down, but it was also amazing. So I got soaking wet, I got so cold that I had to actually peel off my snow pants. In the bathroom, I was like drying my butt on the Dyson hair dryer. We kind of got warm. Then I decided to put like a garbage bag in there to insulate, because of course we were going back out there. And it was so fun and it was so memorable. And now, of course, we remember the ski trip where it rained the whole time and then I had to, wear a diaper, versus it being just like we bailed on the weekend and then I did laundry and, watched Euphoria. There's season 3. Okay, so that's it. So now you guys know the formula for fun, you know how to action it. Now I want you to all go and accomplish your mission of manufacturing as many movie moments of meaning, magic, and joy as you possibly can. Thank you. And here is the formula for fun playbook, the QR code right there. If you want to download that, it's 38 pages. Really poured my little heart and soul into that. Had so much fun on Canva making it. And then, so you can get instant access to that. And then if you're interested in learning more about my Life at a 10 program, it is an online curriculum and coaching community. And it's so much fun. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Then you can do that too. There's whatever. I'll email you and there's a link to book in a discovery call with me. So thank you guys so much for letting me speak to you today. It's gonna be in my movie montage role. Thank you for having me. This is really fun. Oh my God, I'm all done. I think I did a good job. I got a lot of people saying that I did a good job, but anyway, I'm relieved it's over because it's stressy doing a keynote, but
It was also so fun and so amazing to be in a room of 250 women that are all powerhouses and doing incredible, amazing things. Yeah, just wild. Anyway, very, very thankful for the opportunity.